you fuck.
That
was
too
so
slow.
quick.
Too slow, John.
You were good. You were good. You were good.
Hello. I just casually breeze in there. Hello.
Hello. That was amazing. The race is heating up.
Oh,
It's heating up.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's going to be fist
won.
fights next.
He's sneakily.
I wish we had an independent adjudicator purely for false starts.
Was it before? Was I slightly early there?
No, you were absolutely spot on. But to get spot on, do you have to slightly false start? That's
Well, slightly. I reckon.
Yeah.
You have to
There's no official rule book.
You have to be quick on the control D.
Right now.
So there's no rule book actually. So I could just present halfway through the intro.
Well,
Yeah.
never crash the intro.
Next week I'm presenting the middle of the intro.
Well, I'll do what Rick did that
dance.
one week when he. Do you remember episode 78 where Rick edited himself into the intro?
That was amazing.
Was that 7? You remember the number?
No, that was it. No, I genuinely don't remember the number.
It was good because
funny.
Craig was talking to me for a little bit and it was recorded.
Welcome everybody to the Ideal Home Show, episode 135. My name's Richard. With me, I have Rick, John, James, and Brad. It's a full house tonight, and it's an absolutely belting show. We were just saying off air how jam-packed this show is. It's right up there.
I don't know how we're going to squeeze it in already.
I don't know how we're going to squeeze it in. That's what we said. That's what we said off air. We said, how is this going to work? Because it's so jam-packed. Welcome to the show, everybody on chat. Rob's in, Daly's in, Matt's in, Miku's in, David's in, Sinistral, Darren, Trevor, to name but a few. It's buzzing in chat already. Let's just get into it. Coming up on the show, as per, we've got This Week on Instagram, we've got Mod Showcase, we've got Travava, we've got the world's vaping news, your one-stop shop for the world's vaping news, etc.
As featured in The Guardian.
Yes.
Guardian award-winning.
If we're not talking about it, it hasn't happened.
The Guardian's favourite vaping live show.
That is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's a direct quote, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I got no
Well, they
problem with
said
that.
irreverent, which could be taken either way.
I'm taking it both ways.
Not for the first time.
I'm sure it was a typo for irrelevant.
But quite definitely. But The Guardian never typos.
No,
Facts.
irreverent.
Real facts. Okay, let's dive in. My favourite Omi and yours, James.
That.
All of us got a bit damp then.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought
that was a tease. That was a tease. You can't pick favourites, can you? It's like your children.
You know that my ego needs stroking, though. That's all it is.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pepping you up with compliments.
Come on.
What go on in? How damn week been? What vaping ting? Lunch and that.
He's gone full blood yardy.
Lunch and that.
Good luck.
And what is your favourite? Cheese.
Ooh.
Oh, cheers.
And why?
Oh, and why? Oh,
And why?
it's quite specific. Okay, thank you, Richard, you lovely, beautiful man. My week has been good. It's been busy, hasn't it? Oh, that's why I'm saying that every week. Been busy. We've been running the waffle.
Yeah.
And that has kept us plenty busy. More to come on waffle info a little bit later on in the show. I'm going to run down the prizes and that sort of thing. Not mention money, but we're going to run down the prizes. What's been happening this week? I haven't been watching much telly. I have been listening to some music. There's some new music, some new old music. I downloaded Kasabian's first album earlier in the week.
Kasabian.
this is how up to date I am with the modern music. I downloaded their first album, and I've been enjoying that thoroughly. I popped that on. I think it was Monday or whatever it was. Monday I downloaded it, and I popped it on, and I was doing some pottering and doing a bit of stuff in the kitchen, going backwards and forwards, and it was on in the background. I was like, oh, I know this song. Oh, this is a good one. I recognize this one. Backwards and forwards. Oh, I know this one as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know this one as well. Turns out I had it just on repeat. It was just Clubfoot playing over and over again, and I just had the first track on. But I rectified that and put it under regular playing cycle, and there was loads that I liked. I really enjoyed it. That LSF, I think, is my favourite. What is it? LSF? I think that's what it's called.
I haven't listened to that album for quite a while. I've got it.
I think it's 2004, 2005. So let's see, I'm bang up to date and down with the kids.
Did they do Sex on Fire?
No, they did not do the Sex on Fire one. No, that was the other one, wasn't it? That was the one who I always get them mixed up. That was not them, though. Who was that?
Kings of Leon.
That was them, the Sex on Fire. That was a good album as well. That was around about the same sort of time, I think.
Seen one, you've seen them all.
But it's good. I like it a lot. That's what I've been listening to. I've been listening to that. I haven't been watching telly. I've been listening to that one album on repeat, essentially. Singing along though, I like that LSF one, but I like to kind of try and sing along in the accent and stuff. But when I do the LSF one, I kind of go into Jimmy Savile. So I'm like, now I'm on it. You want it? The troops are on fire. I kind of seem to. Now then, troops are on fire. I seem to mess it up. I don't know what the crack is with that. But it's good.
You're in a club style, don't you?
A little bit. I think that's my natural. That's my natural style. Is the club style. Yes, that's what I've been. Oh, and today Storm Hector. Because now we're named storms, not just Hurricane Storm Hector has hit Sunderland.
Up there. It's supposed to be hitting the north today.
Oh no, it's landed. It's landed. It's been fairly breezy. Fairly breezy. I took the.
It's nice down here.
Don't get us wrong. It's odd one, Storm Hector, because it's been a blinding day. It's been really sunny, and warm, just 70-mile-an-hour winds or so. But warm, 70. It's like when you open the oven door and it's a bit like that. So I took the bear to school this morning, and it was just leaves in the face, twigs in the face, dragging him behind us. He's like 2 foot off the ground, like a broken umbrella, but just warm air in the face. So it's Storm Hector is here in Sunderland, and it's not welcome. It's rattling me rafters. That's me week essentially. What am I vaping? I am vaping on the IM356 with a Vaping V2 on the top and a whistle on top of that. And in there is my usual tobacco crunch. I am still vaping on Custard Cream by Spectrum Vaping, and that's still in the shadow with the Viper X and a whistle on top on there. Just got the 2 this evening. Yeah, I've got some new things brewing, but I'm not vaping on them at the moment. Just got me 2 regulars. I am drinking. I'm just about to crack open a Rick and Morty Backer. How cold that is. You can see the condensation.
Oh, yeah. Where's that been?
That's been in the freezer for a short while just to be an extra freezing. Oh, look, it's just dripping. Oh, that's a sexy can there. Just dripping down there.
I've got yet to try a Rick and Morty Backer. Where do you get that from?
They're like I don't know. They're an Aldi own brew. They're just like a German lager.
I need to grab one also.
Nowadays, don't they?
They are $2.99 for 4. So you're talking about $1.50 a litre. So manage your expectations, John.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say to you. I don't like to say it. You know me. I don't drink them fancy IPAs.
Aldi tomorrow. It's on.
But it is brewed. It's brewed with the finest ingredients and in accordance with the German purity law. And I like there a lot. I like there a lot of it.
I like the fact it's that'll be all right.
Brewed in accordance with the German purity law, then I would probably would.
There's no sugar in it, is there? Because it's Pilsner. So.
It's virtually low calorie. It's almost good for you.
I
it's one of my 5 a day.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good. I like it. That's what I'm drinking. That's what I'm vaping on. For lunch, I had a sandwich, just a ham sandwich. But I had little cheesy biscuits with the ham sandwich. Yeah, like them little cheesy. the kind of a diamondy shaped and hearty shaped.
The little cheese snack.
Them little things. I hadn't seen them for ages, but they were
for ages.
Yeah, my wife brought them in from shopping, and
Scandinavia.
they're as good as I remember. They're as good as I remember. They're awesome little. But the shapes are weird. I don't know whether they're based on a pack of cards. There's like a club shape. There's a heart shape. There's a diamond shape.
Yeah, is there a club?
I think it's a club. So I get some during the break.
Not a club for weird shaped biscuits.
Yeah. I don't remember there being a club. I agree. Diamonds and hearts, I think.
I'll investigate when I next go to the bar. I'll bring back some snacks and we'll.
Oh, now you make me think we can pass them around, but we can't.
I'll get some in the post. That was my lunch. Cheese. I'm not a massive cheese fan. I don't like stinky cheese and that sort of thing. My favourite cheese is probably goat's cheese. I think if I had to choose any cheese, it would probably be the cheese of a goat. The cheese of a goat.
I think Dan Munnett in chat guessed Philadelphia.
He's from up north. That is an exotic cheese.
He just thought that would be a no-brainer for you.
It is fairly. I presume Philadelphia is from America. I presume, but
it's cottage cheese, isn't it?
It's not cottage cheese. No, Philadelphia is not cottage cheese.
It's not cottage cheese.
I'm not even sure it's cheese.
Yeah, officially, it's kind of spread. But anyway, it's probably goat's cheese, and I like my goat's cheese with. I do like a balsamic onion thing where you kind of reduce the balsamic and some sugar in there, some brown sugar, some onions, and nom 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 nom. You know, if you're having like an antipasto or something like that. So yeah, that's probably my favourite. Is that everything? That's everything, I think, isn't it? I think I've whistled through that. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, brilliant. We're rocking and rolling this evening. Cheesy biscuits, Kasabian. Yep. God, I've done it all. Excellent. Okay, let's go over to Bradley.
Hello, darling.
How you doing, mate? How you doing?
You won't
answering that? No, okay. How's your week been? What you drinking? What you vaping, Brad? What you have for your lunch today? We'll stick with just easy lunches. And I think this is probably a good one for you. If you could, this is your question, if you could turn off voluntarily, off and on, one of your senses, so hearing, sight, taste, whatever it may be, if you could turn off one of your senses, like just manually, just turn them on and off, which sense would you choose to have that option on?
I'm just going to give you a quick update on Philadelphia cheese, just quickly. It was first seen in America in the mid-18th century, but in the UK from 1583, and it's cream cheese.
Yeah, cream cheese, definitely not cottage cheese. Not made. It's not. They don't have cottages in America.
So they literally had the brand Philadelphia in the 15th century.
No, they didn't, but it's exactly the same thing.
Right.
We are such an informative chat. No other wonder the Guardian loves us so much.
Exactly. It's quite irreverent, isn't it? Take us away, Brad.
I've forgotten what the first question was vaping.
Well, the questions are always the same, Brad.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Drinking, vaping.
How's your week been, Brad? I'll talk you through it. How's your week been?
I survived the week. So can't complain.
Still alive.
Still alive. I'm vaping on a plug with the fluid RDA. And in there... Sorry?
You still loving the fluid?
I am still really, really enjoying it. I think I'm currently got it at about an ohm. Which, surprisingly, I'm enjoying on a mech, which I didn't think I would.
Really?
And I am using my Saber on this guy.
On the NES.
The NES. I'm still loving the NES. I'm actually vaping this on a stolen battery too.
Good man.
I had to nick a battery off a friend because it died in the middle of drinks last night. And in there...
Were you that guy who you gave him a light and then you turned around and realised you didn't have a lighter anymore?
Yeah, that was me. I had a shoebox at home full of lighters, but every time I went out, I didn't have any on me.
Yeah. Nothing else than a fag and no lighter.
I'm actually vaping on NS20, Nick salts, because newborn in the house and nicotine's gone through the roof. And that will answer your question, or makes answering your question very easy, James. I would... Oh, no, John, you're wrong. No, I don't know if I've said this on the show yet, but I did find out quite recently that I don't know who the hell I was talking to, but my daughter's nappies, to me, smell like freshly buttered toast. Everyone else in the house reckons I've had a stroke or there's some brain damage going on here. But it would be my hearing. I would just turn my hearing off.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to my life has been baby crying for 2 months. Colic is not your friend.
Oh, yeah. There's drops for that, isn't there? Have you tried the drops?
Yeah, we've got some kind of thing that we give her after every feed, which calms her down. I think for the most part, it's just some kind of drug that knocks her out. It doesn't actually help burping.
Yeah.
And I am going to turn this around and throw it at Johnny Boy.
Hello.
Hello. What are you vaping on? What are you drinking? And if life was a game, what would your cheat code be?
Do you mean what would it do, or what would it?
Yeah, what would it do?
Okay.
Video game.
I was going to say, because I just go up, down, left, right, left.
Fair enough. There's your answer.
Right, okay. What would it be? Right, fine. It's been a good week. After I kind of put these 4 through through that you don't get it, but I do like a narration of my life most of the time on an internal chat we have, and they know. But I exchanged on our first house today, and we complete tomorrow. So we will be moving next week. So I'm not on the show next week, but because we're moving house. So we own a house. We own a house in the country. It's not like Blur's very big house in the country. It's a very small house in the country. It's still good. It still works. So yeah, that's quite good. That's been my week. That I'm going to say. So it's a good week. Is what I'm going to say. What am I drinking on? I've just drank a proper job from the St Austell Brewery, which I really nice. That's a really good beer. And now, oops, I nearly spilled it. Oh, and now I'm on Ghost Ship. 2 Ghost Ship, 2 St Austell Pale Ales. Very nice. Ow. What am I vaping on? I am vaping on 3 things today. I'll go 1, 2, 3. Firstly, I have got Cactus Punch in 45 milligram Saltnik. Cactus Punch. Saltnik's kind of really picking up now. People are starting to believe what I said 6 months ago. On the RX75, it is obviously the Saver in black. It's very good. Next up, I've still got the Breeze 2. I only noticed when Brad was doing his bit, we try to avoid interrupting each other with taking drags, but I noticed that the Saver doesn't pick up on the mic, I don't think.
It's very quiet. It's a very quiet thing.
And then the Breeze 2 does. Because I could see it on the mic.
Still very quiet.
Still very quiet, but louder, which I wasn't expecting. So it's the Breeze 2 with, I reviewed it from the bath last week, if you remember the Ideal Ohm Show Facebook page. It's got lemon crack in it at 45 milligram as well.
Here's the question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend the Breeze 2 to a smoker?
Yes.
Would you recommend it to an experienced vapor?
Yes. To put in your pocket. Only if you've got an XL.
Right. And the lid
is fucking annoying.
I tell you what, though, it is invaluable for the ladies.
Why? Oh,
handbag fluff is real.
Oh, true, but I've no problem with the lid, but make it attached.
Yeah.
It's stupid that it's got nowhere to go. Even if it was a flip, if you flipped it and took a drag, I'd quite like to see that, like a Zippo kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh no, I don't want flipped to drag.
No, because then you're stuck with it, aren't you?
And then it's
stuck with it now. If you take it off, it's fucking gone and it's black. You lose it every time I put it down. I can't see it where it is.
Yeah, but you will never need it, so just bin it. But the ladies are telling you what, handbag. Sarah's stuff gets the drip tip is unusably stuffed with nonsense.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I just find it fucking annoying. But what I think this represents, though, is that Aspire listened when we all fucking moaned.
Yeah, that's the best bit.
That's it. I mean, that's really good when a company listens and adapts. And the two, it takes the same coils. I will say I have they've brought a new coil out, which is 1 ohm, and they've cut the old one, which is the 0.6. And I really thought, I'm going to like the 1 ohm. I don't. The battery can't do 1 ohm. It just can't do it. Not realistically, but it can do 0.6 and give you a decent vape-ish towards the end of the battery. So the Breeze 2 stacks up. I would definitely recommend this over like a piece of shit like the Blue. This is 20 times better than that. And I'm going to talk about it later, but compare this to the Juul. I'll go into that in a bit. Anyway, the third setup I've got today is another saver.
Yeah.
I've got another saver on the top of the Mini Pico Mini, isn't it? Pico Mini, something like that. Excuse me. And in that Primo Mini. Sorry, I haven't got. I was thinking I've got a Sonic Total, but I haven't. In that, I've got 18 milligram The Turk from James, which is a tobacco.
Does that taste like a Turkish man?
I've never tasted Turkish man. It's one of the only men I've not tasted. Turkish
liar.
Man.
Or is it Turkish Delight?
It's Turkish tobacco, I assume.
Turkish tobacco.
Yeah. But it...
Oh, you seem so disappointed. Right?
I like to go out for Turkish Delight.
Damn you.
Might taste like a bit of lamb chop or something with some hummus on it.
If you're a fan of, the only way I can explain this really is like a bit of a thing really to say that if you're a fan of older tobacco vapes that back in the day were really dirty and they had elements that they weren't great, but that's really hard to explain. There was a tobacco vape about 5 or 6 years ago called Vermilion River, which I think they still make in the US. And it had this taste to it. It's like tobacco, and there was a touch of vanilla in it. But it was a tobacco. But the vanilla made it way, way, way too sweet. This is a really grown-up tobacco with a biscuity kind of taste. But it's got that dry tobacco taste, and then this kind of biscuity aroma with it. And it's absolutely fantastic. James, you've outdone yourself. And you know I wouldn't say that, but you've totally outdone yourself on this. It's fucking brilliant.
I've heard from a couple of sources that it has replaced their fancy tobacco vapes.
It's gonna honestly, the more people who try this, if you like tobacco, you need to try this because you're about to throw what you normally vape in the bin. It's really good, and it goes fucking fantastically with coffee and beer. If you're a coffee person or a beer person,
I like a tobacco vape with a coffee.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I vape later. I vape all day. Oh, if I cheat. I wish I had the ability. Then it would be a cheat. No, that's not a cheat. That's superpowers. Can't really do that. Okay.
What is it like? What is it then? Like when Super Mario has a star and he can just bulldoze through life.
Yeah, but I'm trying to avoid superpowers. So I'm going to say is, if I had a cheat, well, being certain things like being, well, all right then, I'd be invincible.
Yeah.
Fuck it, that is a cheat code. I'd be invincible. I'd be invincible with unlimited ammo.
That makes sense. Being a cyclist, that way you'd be cruising down the middle of the road, not giving a fuck about bus drivers.
I am the worst cyclist. But like because we're moving next week, the bike's retiring because I can't. We're moving sort of 20 miles away from work, so
you'll get very skinny.
We're gonna drive into work together, me and my wife, every day because she only works around the corner. I have the worst temperament for cycling in the world. I swear at drivers, other cyclists. If I see another cyclist riding on the pavement, I happily call them a cunt as I'm cycling along. I would just go, "You fucking cunt." I called an old man a fucking cunt the other day because he opened his door on me. So as I went round him, I said, "You're a fucking cunt." And then when I got home, I said to my wife, "How's it more offensive to call someone a cunt than it is to hit them with a car door? It's ridiculous." Every day, at least twice a day, I'll shout, "Do you know what an indicator is, you fucking cunt?" Like that. That's quite normal. Have you tried accelerating, you fucking prick? Yeah. It's pretty good that I'm not going to be a bike.
You get bike rage by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I used to, when I rode a motorbike, I would shout, I'd say stuff to people. They're more pointers. I kind of helping people out.
Motorbikes are worse. When you get the shake of the head from a motorcyclist.
Do you know, I work the best insult to any motorcyclist, anybody who's watching this. If Chris Bishop's in the chat, there's a look that you get so used to on any kind of motorbike, which is you're just riding along and someone's you look on the left and someone's coming out. They're going to come out of a left-hand road, and they do a long look left. They do a quick look right to check the traffic, long look left, and then go. And they pull out on you, and you know what they're going to do before they do it, so you start braking. The most terrifying thing for a driver for you to do. They always do the same thing. They'll do a quick look right, long look left, pull out, then look right, and then they'll brake. So they're right in the middle of the lane. So if you hadn't noticed they were a twat, you would have gone through their car. But what you do is you slowly call round, tap them on the bonnet, and then give them a double thumbs up. That was my favourite one. If you can manage it like that, it's quite good as well. Just as they're still shaking. Holding on to the steering.
It swings and roundabouts, though. I sympathise.
Pulling out on a bike is no swings and roundabouts. You're just a fuckwit.
Yeah, also motorbikes that do multiple overtakes.
So I agree. I'm
break the speed limit and using the legal license plate that they got from the scrapyard.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't defend cyclists either because they're pricks and I'm a prick as well.
It's a nightmare situation for everyone involved.
And they're all criminals as well, aren't they?
Yep.
I mean, I watched Sons of Anarchy. So
yep. Yeah, they killed a guy.
Yeah, they killed a guy on it.
And murder's not good, is it?
No, not in this day and age. I mean, that's all right in America. And
used to be
good over here.
It's not even newsworthy there.
No.
Anyway, John, what's everything else?
Who's next? Who's next? Rick.
Hey.
How's your week been? What are you drinking? What did you have for lunch? What are you vaping on? If you only have one pie for the rest of your life, what pie is it?
Oh, okay. Oh, week's been really good. Yep. I've recovered after the weekend. Went out to a gig on Sunday night with Brian and Tony and a few other mates. And it was a sort of a school night, wasn't it? Sunday night. We went down to the Tunbridge Wells. It was sunny. There was a gin festival on down the Pantiles and Tunbridge Wells. So we partook in a few there before going over to the Forum to see Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5. And had a few more there. It's really good gig, man. Charlie Tuner, hence the J5 t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love Jurassic 5.
Huh?
I love Jurassic 5. He's got a hell of a voice, Charlie.
Oh,
Tuner.
man. He's a lovely bloke as well. I was chatting to him, and he's really nice fella, really humble. Put on a damn good show. All the classic, coming through that track. I just love that track by Charlie Tuner. And yeah, really nice bloke to boot. Really good. Happy for us here to get to stand there and get pictures with him.
Brilliant.
And chat to him. So yeah, week's been good. Usual stuff. Plodding along at work. What did I have for lunch today? I had a chicken salad for lunch today with no egg in it.
No egg, so more of a
just chicken and lettuce, actually.
Chicken and lettuce.
Chicken and lettuce. It's sort of Caesar salad without the crouton.
Egg.
An egg.
Any moisture?
Yeah, I like a bit of. We had the Caesar salad dressing, but I went for some mayonnaise and some sriracha. I always like a little bit of chili and sriracha. Put some sriracha on there.
Lovely.
But yeah, it was good. It's good.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm drinking on some Elvis juice this evening.
Yes.
Only having a couple of beers. I had too many at the weekend. I'm going to cut down a bit. I'm going to cut down. Too much booze.
I don't know.
I'm vaping on my parallel Squonker with a Goon 1.5 and Voodoo Brew on top of that. Usual beta. I'm vaping on. I don't know what is that. This Atty here.
I don't know. It looks shit.
Funny step on the top of it, but type vape's all right. Saver on a DNA 75 reference mod. And what have I got in it? What have I got in that? What I've got in it. I've got that Peak, the end of my Peak Rocky in there. It's nice, very nice.
It's a fancy bottle cap. That's a fancy bottle cap.
It's not supposed to fit on there, but yeah, it is, isn't it? Look. It didn't fit on the 60mm Gorillas, but it fitted on those 30s for some reason. You haven't seen that. You haven't seen I'm vaping on my PWM Squonker with a lipo in it on Cassandra. Can only be reserve. And last but not least, got a new Atty. I'm going to talk about it in the news because it's kind of different. I was in the vape shop, so I got to give a big shout out to James and Connor from Prohibition Vapes. I was in there the other day and they said, "Oh, we're getting this new Atty. We've got one here. Try it." He said, "Put it on 80 watts, suck the hell out of it, keep going on it, and you'll never get to dry it." And you really can't. It's a stock coil, and you can just go 80 to 100 watts, and it doesn't dry out. It wicks so fast.
What is it?
It's the Horizon Tech Falcon.
Oh.
I actually know the Horizon Tech Falcon is at the Vaping Emporium in Felixstowe, Ipswich, and Colchester.
Well, there you go. And Prohibition Vapes will get it as well.
It's building a following, I think, that tank.
It really, well, yeah, I've actually got a little bit of news, and now I'm going to talk about this coil, this stock coil that I've got in it on my news, because it's kind of different. They're changing things up slightly, and it's good to see. And in that, what am I vaping in that? I've got Brin's Pine Fapple in there, the last of that, and that's what I'm vaping on. No question. What was the question?
Any pie. You can have any pie.
Any pie.
Only one. That's it.
Well, I mean, you've got to go for the classic, haven't you? It's got to be a steak and kidney pie, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
You know, chicken and mushroom is good, but I think I'd go steak and kidney pie.
It's the daddy. As long as it's got kidney, don't put like 2 bits in.
No, you've got to have some kidney in there. You've got to have that irony dryness of the kidney.
Nah, don't put any kidney in there. Kidneys do not live in pies. No kidneys in pies.
Can you imagine never having a pork pie for the rest of your life? Though?
I hardly ever have them anyway.
Yeah, no, kidney.
I could imagine that. Yeah, I do like a pork pie. Don't get me wrong. But a warm steak and kidney pie, or even better, a steak and kidney pudding.
Oh, yeah.
A suet pudding with steak and kidney in it.
Steak and kidney, I think, lives and falls on the gravy.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the gravy is sort of made by the meat juices, isn't it? So you need a bit of juice going on in there and some onions and stuff. But That's what I would have if I had to have one pie for the rest of my life.
I'm with you, mate. With you.
Richard, how's your week been? What's the last rice dish you've had to eat this week? What you drinking? What you vaping? And pranks at work. What's the funniest prank you've seen in your whole working life, if there is one?
Okay. Week has been I don't know, like probably like a real job. Probably like a real job feels like. I'm 720 questions into a 1256 question risk assessment.
Oh
God, man, they make you jump through hoops, these rules, don't they, these days?
I mean that is fucking horrendous by anyone's standards.
Is that an insurance risk assessment?
So we're a software supplier for an employee benefits company.
Yeah.
I bet this is all EU driven rules as well, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of EU stuff in there. But that's just, if you need to ask 1256 questions about anything, and you answer the question, but you also have to attach notes, relevant documents.
Sounds like a real page turner.
So
I could recommend some books that are more interesting.
It's just, I mean, that's terrifying. It's just crazy.
That's more than a dissertation, isn't it? I mean, that's fucking insane.
Yeah. It just shows how hard it is to run a business these days. I mean, if that was a small business,
we are.
Or then if that was a two-man business, you got someone tied up for 2 weeks doing something, jumping through hoops. I mean, it's the same. It's just getting harder and harder to run a business these days with the hoops you got to jump through.
The red. It's just crazy red tape. It really is.
I'm not. That's divert, but I will say so many businesses have gone to the wall recently, and a couple of times it's been put in the press as if they've done something like incredibly stupid. That's just totally, absolutely normal business practice. When they've borrowed 30 million to expand over a year, and then the debt gets called in 1 month in, and they go, well, we haven't got it. Well, you're bankrupt. And you go, what the fuck? And then it'll say in the press, blah blah blah, takes incredible business risk, the same one that every other fucker has taken ever. I see what you mean. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, they're a law unto themselves. These sort of loanees, aren't they? If they move the goalposts, then
they move the goal. I mean, like recently, Maplin. They moved the goalpost on Maplin. That was it. It's done. I mean, it wasn't a great. I'm not calling it the best business idea in the world, but fucking hell,
it's left a hole in the market as Maplin.
I liked Maplin. Maplin was my favourite shop, I think.
Yeah,
well, that's literally what they did. The debtors called in a debt, which was bullshit because it should never have been called in.
I suppose Maplin has been killed by Amazon because. Pre Amazon, where else do you get a micro HDMI to mini HDMI converter?
Yeah, but where can you get one now? Like, you need it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You have to go to Maplin, but you can't because it's gone. I just think it's a bit fucking nuts. Anyway, it's me winded.
So that's it puts a sour note on the week. But I got Germany in the office sweepstake for the World Cup. Although,
World Cup, I thought you just had to be German. I don't really watch football.
I am now German.
Oh, excellent.
That's how it works.
We need some Rick and Morty backers.
Yes.
How much do you win if they win?
40 quid.
Oh, that's worth it. That'll buy you Rick and Morty backers.
Ironically, I give Germany no chance of winning this World Cup. So there we go.
You never know. They can pull it out the bag sometimes, the Germans.
They got more chance than Nigeria.
Yes, and England.
I have no idea about Ballyfoot.
The trouble with Arsenal is they always try and walk it in.
They do always try and walk it in.
Yes, so highs and lows. I managed to glue my new badge back on my car. Highs and lows.
Someone ripped the badge off your car?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I've only got this is TMI, but I have a Vauxhall Insignia.
And they nicked the insignia off of it.
They nicked, they nicked the what's known as the griffin off the front of it, and it turns out that apparently, again, we're back to Germany here, but apparently the Germans aren't happy with the opal, because obviously Vauxhall is opal in Germany, and it has a very boring zigzaggy logo on, and apparently it's a huge market in Germany for converting their opal to have the griffin on the front.
So there's just some kid
that'll explain.
Who's just pulled it off.
That'll explain something. My first car was a Vauxhall Cavalier, but it was exactly the same shape as the Opel Manta.
Yeah, oh, it's the same company.
They're called Opals in more countries.
And my first car, that was.
I think I heard, this might be playground logic, but I heard that Vauxhall is quite offensive as a name of a company in Europe.
It could sound offensive if a German said it, couldn't it?
Vauxhall.
I mean, Vauxhall.
It does sound a bit like arsehole in German.
Yeah.
So apparently, I don't know for sure. I was told that as a child.
You have to ask any German people. What is Vauxhall offensive?
Jif was
comment in the comments
they
below.
couldn't pronounce it, wasn't it?
Jif. Interesting.
Because if a Spaniard wants some Jif, they have to say Yif, and so they changed it to Sif.
Yeah, because there is no J, is there? Because it's like oop. We call it the horrible aftershave that smells of fly spray, dupe, but it's called oop.
Yes. Anyway,
this is some first class banter this evening. This is first class banter. I'm loving this. Let's have a little chat. I'm sure chatter absolutely love it. Going wild.
What was the question? Stay tuned. Vaping content shortly.
Funniest, have you had done any pranks or been part of any pranks?
Straight after the English Office was filmed, the Ricky Gervais sitcom, we did actually do the gluing the phone to the.
Oh yeah.
Which is amazing, but he really badly hurt his eye.
Oh no!
Because obviously, what it does is it makes you pick up the whole phone. He smashed his eye he smashed himself in the eye with his phone. So it kind of backfired, but it was great anyway.
Right, we had I'll ask a question because I'd like to be asked it. I think it's like giving a Christmas present, isn't it? You give presents that you'd like to receive. But I've got to tell you about a guy that I used to work with. I used to work at the printers. There was this guy called Duncan, and he would never make the tea ever. I called him Earnshy because he wouldn't go and turn the urn on.
That's good.
But his name was Earnshy, and everyone called him Earnshy. Over a period of about a year, because he never made the tea, me and my mate Cliff, who made the tea quite often, we would load his tea up with more and more sugar over a course of quite a long time. We got him up to about 7 or 8 sugars in his tea, and he got fat. Well, we never told him. There's one time we really went mad and loaded it up with about eight sugars. He took a sip of it. He looked at it. And thought, oh well, just drank it anyway. Had loads of sugar. We loaded it up. But yeah, I think we've probably given him diabetes or something.
Yeah. He's only got one leg. He's got diabetes.
But you deserve that if you don't make the tea in the workplace once in a while, you know.
Yeah,
I've got a mini John and Ori story.
Quick, John.
I'll be very, very quick. My dad it's kind of the king of pranks. Well, it's not. He just said something really funny. There goes Carl. Back in the day, do you remember punch card computers? We used to put the punch cards in.
Yes.
Punch cards into computers. He works at a signal box with an old chap who didn't really understand computers. And my dad made a punch card and hid it in the stack. And he was going. You put the punch card in, you take it out, and then you put it in the sort of used pile. Anyway, he put one in, and the screen said, "I'm on fire. Spray me with fire extinguisher." And the guy grabbed the fire extinguisher, and my dad went, "No! Stop! You fucking idiot! How the fuck would it know?" Yeah, he just put one that said, "I'm on fire. Spray me with fire extinguisher."
Drinking Guinness.
Oh, it's a good choice. Good
Guinness tonight. Vaping on the Saver with Frankie. The Equitas with Cassandra. Can only be one. Vaping on also Banana Heaven in the Dead Rabbit on the
Where's Banana Heaven from? Where's Banana Heaven?
From Bryn. Banana Heaven.
Bryn's Banana Heaven. Nice.
I recognise Bryn's labels.
So good. So good. And Bryn, you've got the exact same handwriting as my dad.
Oh.
Which is nice, actually. Quite nice. And then the C4 on the MM. God knows what's in there. Something fruity. Yes. That one, Rick, is a belter. But that does beg the question: what's everyone? What are the viewers? What are the ohmies? What are the ohmies drinking? Let's just fly a few up. James Kahn on the Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin Gold. I've not tried Hobgoblin Gold.
Is he with the glassware? That's impressive.
Yes, that is impressive. With what looks like the Berserker.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a very nice looking Squonker. That's
very
Reese.
Nice. Oh,
Magical Collection. Milk Stout. The Melody, and what's the other Squonker? Do we know?
Yeah, it's the. Mate, no, I don't.
I don't know.
Oh gosh, Reese, you're in chat. What's that Squonker?
Oh, the Melody one.
No, that's Melody, but I don't know what the other.
No, the green one.
I genuinely, I'm not sure.
Oh, I know, but I can't remember.
Yes.
That's no use at all.
And then we've got Neil David with a couple of roses and the Brilliant Fury from E Phoenix. And some really fancy beers. He's got a Travava in his beers, got a Heathen.
Nice.
And one apology from Paul, who is running late. The trains have let him down, so he's stuck in a pub with his
always stuck in
with his Squonker. Any excuse, Paul.
That's a rock mods, isn't it?
It's Elemental Mods Astatine? The mod that you do.
It is, it's an elemental, that's what it is.
The mod?
Yes. Elemental.
The mod of rock mods.
Yes, in
the green one.
Paul's is the rock mod, yep.
Rock mod, it's got the cutout. The classic cut. Anyway, but that's what you guys are drinking and vaping this evening.
Yes,
John, what's in the news?
We're gonna go through the news. There's a little bit of points where I'll become offensive.
Well, we are quite irreverent.
Yes, we are. I'm gonna do a couple of quick ones. I'm sorry, I just want to see if I can see a mod. I don't have a tube mod. Rick, you'll have a tube mod, I'm sure.
There's a tube mod that I'm using.
I would go to see the venting on your tube mod.
Still goes on and on this chat.
I just showed this. It was on the fantastic Mark Todd's group. There was a discussion about this again. Have you got venting on that tube?
There is, but they're blinking little 2 mil holes. I know.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't make.
On this. I know the thread you're talking about, and I commented on it. But carry on.
Right, I don't know how many different ways there are to say this. I've had there's those little things that come back over and over again. I've had Mooch say this twice on the show, if not 3 times, because I just want people to understand something. Venting on a mod is largely decoration. If a battery vented in a closed mod with no vent holes, none at all, venting we're talking about, it's not. It's a non-event. The safety feature on the battery worked, and some gases were released. It's not enough to do it won't do any serious damage. We're not talking. No, it won't.
These tubes are pretty thick.
Yeah, it won't do anything. And a venting battery is not the problem.
It'll slowly seep out. It'll slowly seep out of the screw threads and wherever the hole is.
It'd be fine. But we're talking about But thermal runaway, a mod a battery in the thermal runaway in a mod with a couple of fucking holes in it isn't going to do shit all. It won't. You've got the reason we keep going on about battery safety is because you don't need to get yourself into that position. You really don't. And thermal runaway is not something to piss around with. It's not. A couple of holes ain't going to do fuck all. It'll go. It could likely blow the caps off. It could do a lot of things, but the couple of fucking holes ain't going to do shit.
Also, if I can just say, when I review a regulated mod, I often get comments about, oh, well, where's the venting? none of these mods are watertight, and unless they specifically say we're a waterproof mod or whatever, and therefore they're certainly not airtight.
Yeah.
So they've all got micro USB ports for a start. They've got loads of holes in them. They're completely pulled up.
This is not a problem. There's no venting holes on it. Look, it's fucking, you blow it. It's ridiculous. You won't do it.
I think Mooch said when he was on, you'd need a colander.
Yeah. I think we talked about sieves and colanders, and he even said then he wouldn't feel that you would be safe. The battery itself would become in thermal runaway.
It's like the definition of the word runaway.
Yeah, it would become an object. It's an unstoppable chemical reaction in thermal runaway.
But it's also we should highlight this again. And I did the testing years ago.
It's fucking hard to do.
Mooch is clever enough to be able to make it happen. But I tested half a dozen batteries on a hybrid mod without a hybrid atomizer, and I couldn't even make a battery go into thermal runaway. They got hot, it vented, leaked a little bit of juice possibly, but couldn't get it to thermal runaway. It's hard to make a single battery go into thermal runaway.
Yeah.
As Hugh points out in chat, if you're really worried about that, get a phobic.
Yeah.
And if you really want to, another thing though, if you do really want to be safe, if you are concerned, a battery, if it goes into thermal runaway, will the most of the force will come out of the top. No doubt. So if you're worried about it, if it goes off, it's better that it blows off that way than that way. So stick your battery positive down towards the button.
Well, that's up for debate. So you can launch the mod into your face.
Well, yeah, if it's going to go into, you'd feel it get hot probably before it did anything anyway.
Watch your wraps, watch the age of your batteries, watch what the fuck you're doing. These are all things we run over time and time again. This is just a quick touch base, so that's it on that. The next touch base I'm going to do, it's a bit of a weird one. I spoke to my boss about this the other day. Do you know what? We've got to be really, really careful at the moment, because I've noticed this. I'm going to call this section, you can't have it both ways. We constantly a study will come out, some sort of, one of the bullshit studies, or a study from 4 or 5 years ago, the Harvard study, famously dry burned a C5 coil and got all manner of chemicals out of it, and they printed the chemicals and said that we get this, and this, and that gets reposted as it gets dug up time and time again. The popcorn lung study, which is the Harvard study as well, comes up time and time again, and it's requoted and requoted and requoted, and we laugh at it. But it's very funny that as vapors, we mock those studies, rightly. But then when one comes out for heat not burn, I'm not defending heat not burn, but one comes out for heat not burn, and people post it everywhere, going, "Oh, look at that! It's got blah 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 in it. It's got da 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 in it." You can't have it both ways. Don't bother. Leave it. It's not vaping. It's not your fight. Don't do the same thing as you're fighting. That to me is ludicrous. I saw this. I've probably every week for the last 3 or 4 months. Just don't repost it. Just leave it. Heat not burn. I believe it to be arse, but you can't say that this study's bullshit, but that one, that's brilliant. Let them fight their own fucking stuff, but don't get involved. It's got nothing to do with vaping. It's not vaping, but you can't have it both ways. Cool. I've got lots of abuse today in my news. Yeah, I've just written "fuck you" as the next subject. My fuck you. Quick fuck you. Fuck you to anybody who, when somebody else is fundraising, this has got nothing to do with iOS, but when someone else is fundraising, and if you comment on the thread saying, "Oh, it's really good that you're doing this, but why don't you do it for that?" This is just a quick one to people who write things like that. You fucking do it. You fucking do it.
Someone write that. Somebody write that then.
Somebody did somewhere else, wasn't on iOS, but somewhere else. But they wrote on a thread, oh, well, it's sad to see that no one's doing X for blah, blah, blah. You fucking do it. Because that's what every other fucker does, is get off their arse and do it themselves. They decide what they want to do, and they decide the cause they want to support, and they do it. And they go out and they get the bits and bobs. It's not magic. If you want to do it, fucking do it. Don't whine like a little bitch on other people's posts. I don't understand that in any way, shape, or form. And I saw it and I just thought, you're an arsehole. That's that. That's John.
I wish I didn't say that now.
Read on some wine, it wasn't you. Yes. Oh no, I've got one last wine thing to do. I saw somebody the other day. Our good friend Joshua Roberts, who's an admin ISV, he's currently in America on his honeymoon, having a great time. And I noticed something really weird, which he's such a nice guy. People are asking him to pick up things for them while he's in the US. I mean, he's on his honeymoon. If you feel all right asking him that, fine. But one of the things I noticed was a lot of people really, really want the Juul in the UK. But I think they want the Juul because they haven't got one. The Juul is shit. I mean, as a piece of technology, if you compare it to this, the Juul's 2 years old, over 2 years old. The Juul is a single strand of what I can only assume is nichrome or it could be canthal, or very thin canthal, around a piece of silica. You can get one of these for half the price.
Do people not want the Juul from America because they want the 50 milligram salt that it comes with?
They want the strong pods, don't they?
Yeah, but they really want the Juul. But I don't understand that. You can order over regulation liquid from America.
Yeah,
and get
a chance.
It's cheaper than the Juul. I mean, if it was me, I'd just get a better device and use that instead because it's shit. So that was actually the last moment. In the news, this is quite interesting. This is something I've been saying for a little while now. I am doing it. This is from Vape News. I had about 5 people send me this. I'm going to do it. A study. I think it first appeared, I can be corrected, I'm fine with that, on Cancer Research UK's website. Studies. Vapers may be better off with higher nic rather than low. Cancer Research UK reports that a study conducted by researchers at London South Bank University suggested that smokers who have newly abandoned smoking for vaping, as well as vapers in general, could further minimize the already reduced harm of vaping by preferring high nicotine e-liquids over lower nicotine versions. Results of a study in which a 20 participant pool was evenly split into high nicotine and low nicotine groups indicated that vapers who use lower nicotine liquids tended to vape more frequently and deeply, whereas high nicotine vapers found their nicotine cravings to be less intense and further between. Dr. Lynn Hawkins, lead researcher and author of the study, offered, although e-cigarettes are much less harmful than smoking, the vapor can still contain some potentially harmful chemicals that present a higher risk to health than nicotine, which is relatively safe. Our research shows that more intense vaping behavior associated with low nicotine e-liquid has the potential to increase users' exposure to some of those chemicals. To draw any further conclusions, more research on a larger scale is needed. I thought that was basically what quite a few people have been saying for a lot of time in vaping. It's not new news.
I've literally just done a piece in my latest vlog about nicotine and about that popular misconception that people that are on 3mg are doing a better job in some way than someone on 12.
Yeah, I get it. Well, as a vapor of 6 years, and I don't generally dip below 12. The person who gets affected by it more is when my wife comes to vaping events. If she's with me and somebody goes, "You still vaping? What's that?" And I go, 18. And they go, "Fucking hell!" And then we walk off, and then I get my wife to go, "Are you sure you should be vaping?" Vaping a litre a fucking day.
Yeah, if there is any risk to vaping, which I don't think there is, but if there is, you're vastly upping your chances of being affected by whatever that is by having 50 ml a day of juice.
We are. I will just reiterate what it said in the study. We're talking about minimised risks of what the study seems to suggest, and it's an and quite rightly, unlike an American study, the lead researcher said that the group is incredibly small. 20 is ludicrous. 500 would be closer to anything that would be admissible as a study. But I just thought it was quite interesting. Really, and I felt a little bit fucking smug. Fuck you.
I must admit, it is something I think about because I've reduced. I'm down to 2 milligram as a rule. And I'll be up 15, 20 mils a day. And the reason
4, so you get there.
The reason I vape so much is because I pick it up and I forget I'm vaping it. To be honest with you, I'm not conscious of vaping it. And when I was on higher Nick, I would do exactly the same thing, and I'd be like, "I've vaped way too much." I would get Nick spins, and I wouldn't be able to sleep at night because I'd vape too much of an evening. So I've knocked it down. But I do. And you're absolutely right. The nicotine, we're pretty sure that's all right.
Relatively harmless.
But it is the flavouring. So obviously,
but we're also talking. And don't forget, even Cancer Research UK admitted that 5%, 5% of the harm of, if vaping is 5% as harmful as smoking, that is an overestimation. They are well aware of that. They're talking about that at its absolute top end. It's 20 times better for you than smoking. So, and we're talking about increments of difference between, you know, what's dangerous and what's not dangerous. When they talk, like when we talked about formaldehyde the other week, formaldehyde being created at high temperatures, we're still talking nothing when you compare it to cigarettes. There's way more formaldehyde in one cigarette than you would ever likely to come anywhere close to. Even if you're very low watts, very low ohm, and banging watts through it.
Which I'm not. I am. I suppose.
No, but what I'm saying is you're still well under what they would call the threshold.
Is there is there any unless you get a dry hit?
No, there's formaldehyde. Certainly is formaldehyde. There's formaldehyde in the air. There's formaldehyde in the air. If you go outside. If you were in a high traffic area, especially if you live in the city and there's lots of air pollution, there is formaldehyde. But there's a level. And what I'm trying to say is you are below an exposure level. There's no recommended daily allowance of formaldehyde, but you're still well below it. But they're saying, but again, it's increments. That's the issue, really. Right, I'm going to start shutting the fuck up. I'm just going to do one last thing. Just to say, I've just done loads of misery. This one, Reserve is on the way from Americaland. Abolishment is on the way as a restock. Foos Gold is on the way as a restock, and Bantha Milk is on the way.
I like some Foos Gold again.
And Nick, they're all on their way from Americaland, from the bright states of Tennessee, wherever that is.
South.
Yeah, all south really. Lots of south, and obviously from Sunderland. But things are on their way. That is me and my misery finished. Rich, what have we got in the news?
Hello.
You looked so shocked there, like a deer in the headlights.
Do you know? I'm just prepping my news. I'm doing.
He was watching Netflix.
I was watching. Yeah.
Orange is the New Black.
I wasn't. I was setting up my images for what is only referred to as This Week on Instagram. We have a follow-up to last week's This Week on Instagram. We said we would. This is the layer cake. The layer cake RDA. What's the name? District 5 is the name of this. All we had last week was a picture of the outside of the RDA. We now know it is very pretty from the outside. We now know it's going to be available from Custom Vapes in the UK.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah, and also we know what the deck looks like now. It's a low-profile dual coil clamp system. I've spoken to a few people about this, and I'm going to be straight. I'm a little bit pensive about the fact it's a one-screw clamp system.
Yeah.
I've experienced these several times, and they can be a bit of a bitch.
I'm imagine to get it to pinch, it's going to end up seesawing.
Yeah, you can have issues with this. If they've nailed it, then fair play. But
so that's got to be single. Sorry, that's got to be dual coil, and you can't single coil that, I presume.
You could put coil. You could. You can single coil it, but there'd be a lot of redundancy, and it would be even trickier to clamp.
Yeah, if you single coil it, the clamp would then sit like that.
I presume, and that's not going to do the threads and stuff much. I don't know how that. So what's that in the middle, Rich? What is that?
An insulator.
That will be peak.
Is that peak in the middle? Is it? I wasn't sure because it's white. I wasn't sure if it was ceramic or.
So is it one coil, one leg below the insulator, and one above?
One above the white, one below the white on each side.
Do you have to take out the insulator then to get it in?
No, as you unscrew. Obviously, this one's tightened down, but as you unscrew, that all becomes quite loose.
Yeah,
it's been done before, but it's never been done amazingly. But I still stand by. I think that is a pretty looking RDA, and so we'll be really fascinated to know. I know that the amazing Mark Todd and the brilliant Dean, the Vaping Biker, do have these on the way for review, so we will find out. And both of those two guys are incredibly honest. So we will find out that, and it's nice because District 5 is a big name, but that doesn't matter to Dean or Mark. They take no prisoners. So we will find out the truth about this RDA. But I tell you what, it's on my radar because it's so pretty.
Yeah, I quite like the look of that. That's up my street.
Handsome, definitely handsome.
Yeah, I like the look of that.
So that is the follow-up. We won't follow up again unless we get some sort of review from someone. It doesn't have to be a YouTube reviewer, but until we hear from an Omi on it, how it's vaping and all that sort of stuff. So we might follow up again, but we will definitely wait now for the to find out what everyone's how everyone is getting on with it. But I still think it looks very, very pretty.
It looks like it'll be a 24 Milati.
Yeah.
Yes, 24, low profile, 45 quid.
Yeah, I'll be up for one of those, I think.
Yes, I too am very interested. And it's due any week now. So there we go. Next, this is a new mod. Because of the nature of this segment this week on Instagram, I don't even know the name of this mod. But it is H Cigar's new mod. They have this on the way.
We'll call it the Naomi.
H Cigar.
Was it H?
H Cigar. Where I live, it's just cigar. Yeah. So this is obviously very, very SX Yeehee-esque. I think theirs was the G class,
or the SX 550. J was the
yes. But this obviously it's H Cigars, so the price should be right, and it's not.
I quite like the fire button. I'm not really a fan of the whole speedo screen thing, but
That just seems to be the way it's going now, doesn't it?
I'm not a big fan of them either.
I do imagine somebody saying to me one day at a bus stop, like, "Yeah, he ain't even got a Bluetooth on that or nothing."
I'm just going to go one step further than that. Some guy at the bus stop's going to show you his mod and say, "Oh, have you seen this movie before?" He's Netflix on it.
I just think, I see a big screen like that. I think it's going to run out the battery quicker, and it's not needed. That's what I think.
I know what you mean, but what they would say to that is that it uses an incredibly low amount of battery life to power a screen compared to sub-ohming your dick off.
Yeah.
True.
But I don't even know the name of that. But if you're looking for that G-class style in a budget fashion, then stay tuned to H-Cigar's output.
Looks tidy enough, doesn't it? Yeah.
Is that a Juul battery? Do you think that's
Yes,
a Juul
yeah,
battery?
Juul 18650, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, good. They haven't put a lipo in it then. Good.
No. But yeah, it's the real reason for showing that is it literally they only posted that a couple of hours ago, so it really is brand new. Then we've got this. Who remembers the notch coil?
Yeah,
they're back.
They are very much back. This is H-Cigar. No, this is iJoy. iJoy have a tank on the way, and they're reviving the notch coil.
Is it called a Spanko?
It should be possibly. I mean, I do like the fact you can wick it yourself.
It's a push-in one, isn't it? It's another push-in call like the Wanko was.
Yes, it is. It's the coils are pre-made, but the wicking is all down to you.
Right.
So it's kind of in
There's a
between.
tagline for you.
It's an RTA or a sub. It's in between a sub-tank and an RTA.
I'd like to see this work. I'd like to see it work, and it could if that coil is made of the right material, something like nichrome or something.
What they've got to do in terms, if they're going down the original route that the notch coil went, they need to find a way of making it heat up faster and not require extra power.
Well, being made from nichrome, it would heat up faster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I think the reason they didn't do that nichrome originally is because it doesn't actually hold its shape in the way that these notch. Nichrome's a little bit more fluid, isn't it, at high temperature? Again, all we have is this picture. iJoy have just said they're bringing the notch coil back and release this picture. So again, it could be an epic failure like the last time the notch coil.
And that'll be an RTA, won't it? By the looks of that.
Well, you don't get to build the coil yourself, but you get to wick it yourself. So what do we classify that as? A re-wickable atomizer.
Yeah, but it looks like there's going to be a tank system rather than a drip.
Yes. Oh yes, very much.
It looks quite wide, actually. Is that? It's hard. It's hard to tell. Could that be a 24 maybe? I like the. I have always liked the look of the notch coil. I've never used them. But
yeah, they look smart.
Yeah, I think you could look like you could just pop them into a piano and it would play some kind of. Looks good though. Looks good. I like it.
I just things like this always interest me. Because you never know how they're going to play out. But yeah, so it's a re-wickable atomizer, but not rebuildable. So I don't know what that's classed as. Joytech have just done one as well. The Joytech, not a notch coil, but a re-wickable. This has the heating plate thing.
Yeah,
so it's re-wickable, but not rebuildable.
I quite like the idea of re-wickable because I think it brings people into the fold. You know?
Plus, you're going to get longevity for your coils. You know, we would do it ourselves. You do a quick dry burn, you change the cotton, bish bash bosh. You go another couple of hours, days, weeks, or whatever out of it, depending on how crazy you vape. Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's not rebuildable, but it is reusable or whatever to a certain. Prolong the life.
The Joytech one, their big thing is that. It obviously is re-wickable. You have to put your own cotton in, but the actual heating plate lasts for something like 500 mil. That's their claim.
It will do. I mean, it's the heating coil.
Yeah, but there's 500 mil and there's 500 mil. It depends
It's
on
just the heating plate from a blender, isn't it?
Yeah, but not all juices are as clean as each other, are they? That's the thing.
Yeah, but
500 mil of super strong custard isn't going to last.
I don't think iJoy are going to be able to make that claim, because if it's anything like the original notch coil, that got really tarnished really fast. So being again just a bit random, bit Instagrammy this week on Instagram.
It's definitely worth talking about.
I love that. That's the only good thing about Instagram, really, in between the boobs and the adverts, that you get to just see stuff first, you know. But that's we'll follow up on anything that does crop up with that. But that was this week on Instagram. Brad, have you got any bits?
No, Brad doesn't prepare news.
The
last time I prepared news, we got round to my news at 1 minute past 11.
Yeah, I think it's very sensible.
Did I do my bit of news before James?
Yes, Rick.
Then there's a gap between me and showcasing, isn't there?
Yeah, go Rick.
I've only got a couple of little things to go through, and I'm going to talk about this tank very quickly, which is the Horizon Tech Falcon that I got. And I've got a couple of images, but why I was interested in this tank is how fast it wicked. And let me get I've got some images, and I've been looking into why, you know, what the coils are made of. It's crashing. Hang on. Oh, hang on. We're crashing. All right. Okay. Here we go. Yes, the reason I'm interested in this is it's actually the coil in it is a mesh coil.
Mm-hmm.
It works for a start, and the cotton is 30% wood pulp, 70% cotton, and it's amazed me how quickly it wicks. It just soaks up juice so fast you can't get a dry hit out of it. I mean, I've got it on a mech, but I was trying it in the vape shop at 80 watts. Straight, one after the other, you know, as much as you can, you get for a whole tank, and it doesn't dry hit at all. It just soaks it up really quickly. And I think they've really nailed it with something a bit different with the materials they're using. And that's that. Falcon Tech.
There is a massive movement towards these mesh coils.
Yeah, I mean, it's working. I've used it most of the week now. It's been in rotation with other things. It's still got flavour. It chucks out cloud. I've only got it on a mech, but it's 0.15 build, so it's sort of perfect. Sort of 70 watts, 80 watts. And it's still giving me flavour, and it's still chucking out cloud. It's noisy bugger, but
they all are now. All these sub tanks are really noisy.
But it's cloudy. It doesn't dry out though, is the thing. I don't think I ever had a tank you could go on like that and it would stay wet, and it really does. No sign of dryness whatsoever.
The wood pulp bit's interesting. Have they said why?
They haven't said why, but let me just go through. I've got a couple of images to show. Let's show it. A couple of things they've put online. There's different coils. First off, there's 4 coils you can get, and they're all different. They've really tried to change things up here, but they're all that first one is the F1 coil. That's wood pulp and 7% cotton as well. They just seem to have nailed what wicks fast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what this one is. Flax fiber.
Flax is, I mean, we've been using producing flax in the UK for about 200 years or 300 years.
Is that what the Atlantis V1 had? Was that? No, is it flax that when it's dry looks flaky and people get worried?
No, that was cellulose of some sort.
But this is the coil that I'm actually using, and apparently this is supposedly the best one. I've got another coil in the box actually to try when this one wears out, but this is the 30% wood pulp, 7% cotton, and it's got a mesh coil, and it's fast. I don't know what the mesh is made of. It must be made of something like nichrome because it's instant ramp up. There's no ramp up time.
Is it stainless steel?
Well, I don't know, but it's 80. It's instant power. There's no ramp up on it, and it just wicks super fast.
Flax is made of linseed.
Right.
That's been the big change. Because obviously we have tried mesh coils before. The big change, and eLeaf have done one, Joytech have done one, iJoy have done one. The big change that all these companies have made with these mesh coils is they're not strictly mesh like we know as vapors. I think they've found a way of making them more like stainless steel and more like a chain link fence than.
Well, yeah, you can sort of see in this picture. This is the coil I've got, the M1.
It looks like a drilled out subframe from a Superleggera.
But these are all they're kind of good. It's oddly reminiscent of vaping as we knew it as well, because these products exist. You know, those meshes, they're not created for vaping; they're for another purpose. But it's good that people.
No, it's just I've tried these things before, and I never got on with any flavour with them. It's just I found it odd that I was getting such good flavour with a mesh coil, so I thought I'd plug it. I mean, it's no looker. I mean, I don't think it looks great. Subtank coil.
But that's why have they made? A lot of people have come out with coils with those kind of look to them as well.
Yeah.
What is the drip tip, Rick? Is it a goon tip or?
No, it's actually a 510.
Right.
I've just got a wide one on it. It comes with a knife.
Because that stainless one, you put your own drip tip on, you're laughing. That's all right.
Absolutely. Got some angles on it. It's nice that they're doing some R&D, isn't it? It's nice that they are trying.
Well, that's the thing. That's what tickled me was the fact it actually works. And I haven't had a stock coil for a long time, and this was tasty, and it could take the juice so fast. Is what stood out to me.
And it has, like you said, not just yourself, Rick. I've heard some very positive things about this tank.
Yeah, I think that's definitely if you're cloudy, if you're inclined to be cloudy, and you want a no nonsense stock coil, this could be the new Clito 120.
I still like a sub tank at work.
Yeah, it's weird that I'm using this on a mech, and it's like I'm just having a draw on it, and I'm thinking, I've got to put some juice. No, I haven't. I've got to put some juice. No, I haven't. You can just vape it for a while. I mean, I think it comes with a reducer in there that you take out, and it probably holds about 3 or 4 mil of juice in there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I like it. I'm really quite impressed with it, and I didn't think I would be. But I tried it in the shop, and they gifted me a sample they've got, and they give us much Prohibition vapes for that. That's interesting and worth looking out for. What else have I got? I've got something else as well. Yes.
You need to tell people about your podcast.
Yes, I can. Yeah, that's after this bit. Got to say farewell to Praxis Vapors. If you haven't heard of Praxis Vapors, they are the guys that probably their claim to fame, I'd say, is the little Derringer atomizer. But after a year and a half, not sure what they've been going through, but legal action and stuff, they've finally closed down. So it's just a bit of a farewell to Praxis Vapors, really. And still a great little atty. I resurrected this the other week. I've shown a few of you know that. I think we might see these go up in value because they're not going to be available anymore. I don't know if they are. They were anyway, actually.
I don't know, but it's always sad to see anybody go to the wall.
Especially.
Didn't they make a matching tube mech?
I don't know. I never had anything else by them, but they had a couple of PWM mods, and people were scared of the buzz from them because it made a little buzzing noise, like PWM does. And they had a tank, didn't they? They had a tank that had stock coils, but I don't think that really went anywhere either. But they just certainly hit the nail on the head with this Derringer. This was a go-to atty for quite a lot of people. I don't know, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. It's a blinding flavour atty, isn't it?
The first little atty, wasn't it? Really, they're all quite big, and they first sort of short, stubby, decent atty, I think. So yeah, farewell to them. And yes, on to vaguely vaping related podcast. They had me on there weekends ago, but I'd actually been. It's if you liked the Pickled Rick episode, I was probably more pickled doing that than I was doing the Pickled Rick iOS show. I was hammered.
You could hear it. It was a good laugh.
It was fun. I managed to speak. I wasn't slurring too badly.
My favourite bit was your admission at the start when you were like, I was sat here spinning out thinking, I don't know if I can fucking do this, but I
Yeah. It's true, though. I got in after, you know, an afternoon in the pub and brought some beer home and been round a friend's house, and I came back for 9 o'clock and ordered a pizza a bit quickly, and drank a bit more. Awesome. But it was good. It was good fun, though. So, yeah, head over to Vaguely Vaping related podcast. I think it's about a 2-hour recording, actually.
Yeah, it's about two and a half, I think.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Very, very good.
But no, we had some good bands. It was good. Me, Chandler, and Jimmy. It was good fun. So yeah, go check out VVRP. That's it. James, got any news?
Thanks very much. Yeah. Yep. Can you hear us? Yep. Okay. Okay. First of all, I just wanted to see. I meant to mention this in the first section. All the best to Mrs. Bob. Bob posted on the group today that Mrs. Bob had been taken down for surgery today, and just want to wish her all the best from all of the Omies. Get well soon.
Yeah, get well. Thanks for all your fucking awful trying for tar bars.
He's persistent though, especially with the dead raffle.
But yeah, as you quite rightly say, that's the Ideal Home Show Facebook page is about that kind of thing as well. And
Mrs. Bob does come to the shows as well, so she is an Omie by proxy for sure.
Good, Mrs. Bob, get well soon. And we all everything crossed for the test results.
So that is that's done. Next, I wanted to talk about the Limelight RAM. I mentioned this last week. But Limelight, they've got a new RDA coming out and all this sort of malarkey. Dejan is on his way and he's going to be announcing some exciting stuff. And it turns out it's not an RDA at all. I had minimal information. The information I had was it's not a mod. It's not a mod. It's not a mod. What else is there? There must be an RDA. It's not an RDA. It is the RAM. It's the RAM module. It's
actually a type of sheep.
It's a button, Rick. It's a button. It's a switch. It's a switching chip. It's not a MOSFET. I don't think it's a MOSFET. I don't think it's a switch. They're calling it a switching chip with enhanced safety features. I don't know if you know this. In the past, Limelight, and don't get us wrong, they fix everything. Limelight, their customer service is exemplary, absolutely brilliant.
Does its job properly, Dejan.
But because vapors are occasionally over squonking and that sort of thing, it's almost always, as far as I'm concerned, user error. But the gloom and the freehand and stuff, it's the same shape, and it's a top fiery MOSFET style mod. But because it's a top firer and because it's got a big switch on the top, often if you over squonk, you can get juice in there quite easily, and people either don't notice or don't care or whatever it is, and it was causing a few issues. So they've refined that switch. They've reinvented that switch, to be honest with you. I'm going to give you some details on that. So it's a switching chip with enhanced safety features. Features of the RAM module it's a 3-click on and off. And I mean, this is nothing new, but when you see the chip itself, it's teeny tiny. It's got an 8-second puff limit, after which the board will reset. No voltage drop on the board. It's got low battery cutoff. It's got auto standby for battery saving. It's got short protection. It's got instant response. There's no delay. And the big thing for this switch is that it's 100% liquid proof. It's a waterproof switch essentially. Which, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, is the first of its kind. I've actually got some pictures.
What was that last bit?
It's 100% water resistant.
Oh right.
Have you got some pictures there, Rick? It's in James News. I've got a picture of the actual board, and then I've got a little bit of they've got a little bit of footage where they're showing you a submerged. So there's the RAM module. Not that interesting, obviously. It's just a looks like a little chip there. But if you put the next one on there, Rick, it's a little video. If you'd be so kind.
So is that the plan? You're supposed to retrofit your?
You're not supposed to do it, but all new free hands gloves will all be fit with this new switch.
Right.
There is going to be lists available where you can then you can take it, you can then send yours back, and I think for basically just the price of the switch, they'll replace it in your existing mods.
There's got to be massive kudos to Limelight for this. There has to be, because we've all seen, anybody on UKS has seen like melted mods when people have left the batteries in overnight and there's been a leak on the board and stuff. This is an addressed issue that they've seen a need for due to, as you've said, user error, but they want to not see another mod like that. And I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to remember, this is all produced in-house. It's all developed in-house. It's invented by the Limelight dudes. There's a couple of them there. But what?
Yeah,
go for it. I mean, the amount of shit I've said about Sunbox, someone's really happy they got one.
I just think we have the man here. I just think they should have worked with Rick to sort this out.
It's funny you should say. So I've got a board coming out. I've been working on one. It isn't waterproof though, but that's quite easy to fix. You just blooming seal it up. But I've got a board coming out soon that will be a 5-click on-off. Little MOSFET board,
and we're certain it will be of mod maker quality. So
I'll start making mods again.
I just feel like this is overreach on my part. But
I don't know what else they were
now where he can work with all the world's mod making companies to produce a universal solution, and it's a bit like when we went to Jam. And Melody weren't aware that Rick had a feeding tube.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a communication issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably down to me not putting my wares out there enough. Maybe
it wasn't done.
You can't publicise things that you haven't got ready yet, or otherwise someone else will come along. It's about the mod making community all giving you the.
It's about the vaping community as a whole, because we do. There's lots of things where you have to be. Everybody. In every company, you keep everything close to your chest because you have to. And everybody thinks it is a community per se. But
I'm not taking anything away from Limelight at all, because that is an awesome upgrade for anyone that's got one of those.
It really is, and I don't know whether it's just down to they want to produce everything themselves in house, and
that's good. Kudos to them for that.
100% fair play. Their reputation is unrivaled.
It really is. It really is. So, I mean, don't get us wrong. I was a little bit disappointed myself because I wasn't sure whether it warranted the kind of hype that they kind of had on the group. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be an RDA or whatever."
I think there could have been a best. I don't think they needed to do this. I think they needed to sort the design out so that it didn't. So the MOSFET board didn't get wet. There were all things they could have done to have done that.
Well, I don't know whether because it's like it's a form of a function, though, isn't it? It's a really great looking. I mean, it's not my cup of tea.
Great mod. It's a lovely mod. I mean,
but it's got a great form. It's got a great form factor, and obviously they didn't want to change that.
They could have waterproofed that. But they could have they didn't have to change the design. They could have just somehow waterproofed around the switch, so the electronics didn't get wet.
They've obviously gone one step further, and they've designed an entire board around that. I honestly don't know the reason behind it.
I still wouldn't want my boards to get wet, whether they're waterproof or not. But yeah, it looks great though. It looks really good. It looks tasty.
And I will say, somebody, Dan, has just pointed out in chat. I don't know what you guys are like, but don't leave batteries in contact. Or overnight, even if it's just in say the Dacus switch vet that's downstairs currently on the kitchen table, my battery contact's out. It's not touching.
I think that
turn it out and rattle it, make sure it's not touching. Don't Leave them in overnight, unattended. No, that's
I'll agree with that, but in practice, do you know what? I've never done that. I've always left batteries in mods. Always have.
I don't.
On auto fire.
I think the two things there are, if you've got a mech or a switch vet squonker, don't leave it. Don't leave the battery in overnight if you don't have to.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Or unscrew the RDA. Sometimes I just back off the RDA.
Yeah, I do that when I put my mods in my bag. You don't, you want all these safety features, but just unscrew the RDA.
The third thing is, and I think this is maybe understated, no matter how many times we say it, you've still got to maintain these things.
Of course you have.
You've got to clean the 510. You've got to make sure the nut isn't wet. Just give it that odd check. Give it a little clean around all that. If you want to make, you've got to do your bit.
You have to respect it.
And I think Dave had posted something just the other week saying, what the fuck, you've got to clean the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's just like when we all had, all the classic mech tubes 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah,
You'd put it as part of your routine every so often to sort them out. Mech squonkers are no different, surely.
Yeah, give it clean.
They're not.
Right.
But yeah, that looks good, James. I like the look of that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Splendid. So that is that's an update from Limelight. News just posted this evening. UKS sponsored by Chef's Vapors will have Chef's Flavors will have a tent at Vape Fest for people to attend. That's just been released this evening, and then our waffle. I was going to do a little bit of an update on the waffle. Go through the prizes. I've updated the thread as many times as has been within my time frame. But we've got a right cool list of prizes. The prizes are unbelievable.
Shall I do a speed flick through?
If you want to do it, let us just bring up the actual list, and I'll quickly whiz through the list as well. If you want to whiz through the photos, and I'll whiz through the list.
Okay.
If I can find, I've got so many things here.
It's basically there's a raffle on the group. And we'd love you to enter because it's for a great cause, and the prizes are amazing.
I don't know if you're going to do. I assume you're not going to do figures, but I will just say
I'm not.
That the prize list far outstrips the sale so far. So go.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? And I've had a couple more to you. That's
the name of the game, James. That's totally normal. And that's fantastic. Sorry, go through the prices, Jim.
I can't. I've got so many things. Okay,
let's take
the pictures. Okay, so we've got Phobic with a Punisher door. We've got an ORT Watch My Face, which is going to be cleaned before it gets sent out. Almost definitely, probably. We've got a Rockmod Squonker, Starboard Rockmod Squonker. We have got from Mark Tony's very own
ridiculous.
Fogging Sailor.
How cool is it? How cool would we have to Mark's Fogging Sailor? How cool would that be? That'd be super cool. We have got a Pulse 22 with a Pulse kit from those people. We have got Anatolian 18350 and 18 with the 18500 tube mech. We have got Nevermore from Raven Mods, absolutely. We have got a Frostbox.
Nice.
I know. Do you know, it's really nice to see that mod has never been sold for money ever.
Yeah, that's cool. They're back as well, Frostbox.
Yeah, they started making things again. Yeah,
that was first went to Lee.
Lee Ash is
last year, and it's big. So I love seeing mods that have never ever made any money. That has only ever gone to charity.
Yeah, never been traded, never been sold. Brilliant. We have got.
That's cool.
This has probably had the most likes on that thread because people love Nigel's work. Yeah, so we're SVBF,
especially those ones that are so unique.
In a gecko or whatever that is, I think that's a gecko. Another Phobic got a piggy red with a.
Never made any money.
Mini, we've got Recurve, they go together. We've got the Asmodus. We have got I don't know what that's called.
Oh,
got one of them. I'll remember. Keep on going.
Someone do it in chat.
A couple of Desky pouches. We're a couple of sets of Desky pouches.
Hey, who's that twat?
We've got the Watofo
Rig
set.
Blokes. Yeah.
Entheon, that's what it's called, yes. From Cyclone Mods. We've got a cactus. We've got the full range of Cactus Punch in Zero Nick with Nick shots. We've got 3 just on Nick sets. We've got a goodie bag from Modmaker.
There's an atomizer with the just on Nick kit.
We've got there is awesome.
Who's
there is
need that many
You've got 8 Mike Dacus mods.
I just snaffled this picture from the Abstract Mods page.
Mike's an 8. He's such a nice bloke.
You're a gen,
he's
Mike.
a lovely man. He's a lovely man. And we have got this just came in from Eddie here. This is a Curve S from Darwin Mods. That is English maple, green, emerald green English maple, something stabilized by Chris Scott.
It's also one of about 9, isn't it?
Yep. There's not many. There's like you couldn't count them all on 2 hands. What a sexy little beast that is. We've got that. What they called? That's it's not a serpent. What is that, Rich?
Vinyl.
That's a No. What? What is it?
I can't stop looking at the vinyl.
I tell you what, I'm just going to add a prize live. Wait
okay.
there. You keep talking. I'm going to add a prize live.
We've got so many prizes. So many. There's like
we're going to add another one. I've got to clean it up, but you can have it. There is only one of these in the world. You can have it. Hold on 1 second. I'll chuck it in. It's never been sold for money because I won it and I got it personalized. Are you ready? You can have a build station like this.
Oh,
that's cool.
That is really.
It's a mad raffle because most of the prizes I would happily have.
Yeah.
Me too, and I can't even buy tickets.
I had to get some tickets today.
I got some.
I really can't blame you. I mean, there's not a prize I wouldn't be absolutely chuffed about. I mean, because you always see it's like, oh, fill a prize. That's a fill a prize. But this raffle is it's all.
But there are a couple more to put in it. What else have we got here?
Oh, that's just
that's the serpent, and that's
a serpent and a tsunami 22. That's right. They're a single bundle. I've got the SP and Goat Solo that comes with, and that's got an iOS sticker on the other side, and it comes with a battery.
And that's the last one.
We've got the full set of 6 licks range from 6 licks. It's just
that's over 300 ml of juice.
There's so many.
Well, they look like 120s actually.
Wow.
So many. They're hundreds. They are hundreds.
Wow.
They are Zero Nicks hundreds in 120 bottles. I think so. You can either add your own Nick shots, add your own 72, whatever you want to do. But they're all zeros. But it's 600 mils of juice. That price there.
And that's what there is so far. There's no doubt some more.
So come on, if you get one of the ticket sales are closing Saturday.
Saturday we are. I'm fairly organised so far. It is more work to anybody who's ever run a raffle. It is so much work. I mean, writing the stuff, keeping track of the stuff. I don't know how many hours.
I'm very sorry, James, but I am enjoying the pain because I know how many times I've done it, and it's
nice to see someone else going through it.
You know, it's not just that. It's like an emotional roller coaster and all. Like every time somebody's donating prizes, and I'm like, I kind of.
But I really, this is. I will say just a little thing to James because I think James is emotioned out. But I would say that as is always, this money is being laser guided to one cause and to one very specific mind unit in Sunderland. So this is the money is going to make a difference. It's not going to some national pool. It's going to
such a great cause.
To mind.
Really, and it's not just just given his brill. It's a brill thing, but they take a cut, and
I agree.
I hate that.
I've managed to get round just giving so many times because they take. Is it 10? It's either 20% or 10%, and that's an incredible amount of money.
It's a big cut, and I understand that they've got overheads, but it's just like it's like taken from charity and big charities. I know we love to support big charities, but I feel it's like a drop in the ocean with these big charities. Even if even the bigger raffles that people have and what raise a lot of money, I always feel as though it's a tiny drop in the ocean to these things.
Yeah.
And whereas when it goes to somewhere local and somewhere specific, like they will feel like every employee and every attendee or what client or whatever you want to call them will feel that money directly. And I love that. I love that about the smaller charities. I really do.
I do hope you've been lying to your wife, and I hope she's very happy. I know she watches sometimes, and I hope she's going to be very happy with the £70 you've got so far. Because she
will. I think she'll be absolutely delighted. But it's been brilliant. It's been hard and it's been brilliant. And I'm looking forward to Saturday. And I'm
really cruel. I can't wait till sort of 11 p.m. Saturday when I've been sat in my pants on the kitchen floor crying. So I imagine, enjoy it, you fuck. It's fucking awful.
No, it's brilliant, wasn't it? It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. That's why you collapse at the end, because it's a hell.
But please buy more tickets, because this is the coolest raffle I've seen for a very long time.
If you get paid tomorrow, go and do it. There are mods in there you can't buy. You literally can't buy.
And like the iOS doors, how many of those are they around for the Phobic? Virtually none.
Very, very few, and there won't be any more.
Exactly. And what a great cause, and it makes a direct difference. And like we were talking about the big charities and stuff, but like even when like you go into your Texaco garage and it asks you if you want to add 25p to charity or whatever, that's just going to their press release. Texaco raises £1 million for charity. Yeah. Not vaping, not us, not you guys. Texaco have raised that money. This is a chance for us to raise some money. Right. So go for it. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I want to get one of them big checks. Them big. I want a big check, and I want to go down there. I want to forward up that Sunderland Echo and say, Sunderland Echo, I'm going down to mine with a big check.
You end up with the office where you make 300 quid and the big check's 280 quid. Give him 20.
Big check will come out of my own pocket.
We're moving house, and I've got the Just Had Nick dress. You can pop it on next week if you make over a certain amount.
Thanks, but no thanks.
That dress is worth over £2,000 now.
Still no thanks.
We're about the same size. You could do
it. That's me. I think that's me done.
I think you're trying for Tar Bar, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Apart from the obviously.
Sorry,
hang on. See what these things do to you. Let's whiz through this because we're at 11 minutes to 11. It's a brilliant time for Try for Tar Bar, though. Let's run that VT.
I will just say, John Hudson in chat has just said 50 quid if you wear the dress. Quick, so we're on the video.
Things that remind you of vaping, but they aren't really vaping at all.
Brilliant. We've got the old thing now, because this isn't really a top of the Try for Tar Bars. This is just a regular one. Okay, we're going to whiz through them. This is from Ashley Buckley. This is Stop Killing Dragons to Make Snapdragon Processors. It reminded him of the Snapdragon, obviously.
Yeah, sort of. It's not a real. That's not actually a real protest. It's somebody's just written on the picture. But yep.
This is.
I like this one, James, because this is
rabbit.
This is one of my trophies from my wild London animal hunt last week.
from urban safari.
Urban safari, yeah.
I just love that. I love that phrase, urban safari. I don't know. It made us giggle. Next one is from Colin Durant. This is just some pipes.
Colin, you are really reaching with a patina.
This is not, I'm not sure this is the bottom of the barrel, but it's fairly close, isn't it?
Yep.
Colin,
I think there's like a pube on the pipe as well.
Yeah.
He's a classic. Yeah, don't point to the pube, Rick.
I really like
Dan Muddit.
From Dan Mudder. Thanks very much, Dan.
What is this then?
In a couple of
Double
years.
denim. Double denim. That picture from
Oh,
Vaping is going to be the death of us, man.
Like
Giant coils.
I like that. I thought it was good. I will up for that.
Yeah.
That is Dave Williams.
Dave Williams, that's right. Aye.
Dave Brocklesby.
He's got a couple. We've got Haku.
Haku.
Yeah, we saw that. Reminder of Vaping. We've got the next one, which is I know we hate number plates.
What is that? What is that? Is that a plaque?
Yeah, it's a plaque, but it says Haku.
So it's a dead person called
I saw the piece of wood first and thought it looked a bit like a mod.
No, Haku.
So it's a dead person called Tai Haku.
No,
I don't think-
Haku is
No.
the genus name.
Tree.
Great white cherry. Is that not the wood? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the name of a tree. I think it's a park or something. It's this great white cherry, Tai Haku, which is the name. Prunus would be Latin, I assume, and then the name in English and the name in...
Fair play. Sorry.
And then we got
Just that Nick.
We got some hairdresser who works for just that.
It's definitely a hairdresser.
Yeah. Next one.
I'm surprised the top isn't down, even though it's cloudy.
We had this the other week.
We had this last week or the week before. This is from Flo Taylor, and he complained that it was reaching because I hadn't picked the right, because he sent in a video, but I couldn't put the full video, and it was like 35 seconds, 40 seconds long. That the video, the still that I used wasn't.
He's still pushing it.
Is it not?
No, he's not. That's a mod.
Nah,
That's a beast of
I
a mod.
hadn't noticed that. I think that's brilliant. I think he looks like he's got a mod natty right there.
What is it?
So,
It's a DIY. It's a lipo build with
it's
PWM
massive.
mod, I reckon.
I'm calling it reaching just to annoy him.
What is it? What is it in real life?
I don't know.
What has he really got in his
A
hand?
bottle or something, is it? Some
No. The one I showed from last week or the week before, it had it was a box and he had wires and lights on the top of it. He's like a scientist. I don't know. Either that or is that a microphone there? He's a YouTube dude. I have no idea.
It's a lamp.
No idea.
It's a mod, isn't it?
It's a toy maker. Look, he's got some toys on the shelf and he's got toys.
That's why James's sound is shit. He keeps shouting in the lamp.
Next.
Why, mate? It doesn't work.
What? Just because it's a burl on a tree?
Reminder of it was James Hall. Let's move it on to the next
I
one.
suppose technically it's correct.
It is.
Yeah.
Things that remind you of John.
That's a joke I made. It doesn't count. I like it, but it doesn't count.
You can't just put a picture up of me and John.
Put a picture of Johnny Rotten. It doesn't work. I did actually make the same joke, but that's good.
Next one.
Well, that was mine. Come on. I'm happy with that.
That's a good one, though, isn't it?
I've never seen Mark without his coat on.
There is a ski through McDonald's, and so I superimposed Mark on it. But the Muck ski, come on, that's
That's good. I like that.
Where did you get a picture of Mark without his coat?
That was when he went for drinks with the Todd and everything.
Oh, it was in the pub. That was the farmers' meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, I nicked him out of it.
Yeah.
I think it was like a checkered shirt appreciation society pick.
Yeah.
There was a lot of plaid in that.
Mr.
With a
Freight.
lot of flat.
This one reminded him of
They all
John.
have to wear their clan colours.
I don't think I'm quite tinted. I mean, he
What
looks
is this
bald.
one? That is reaching in it. Like, that's
It is, but it's from the free. Come on, you give him a little bit of leeway.
I'll give him that. because I like him.
Yeah,
It's not Tintin, anyways. It's 1010
Oh, is it?
because he was European, wasn't he?
Oh.
Fair dues.
culture, lovely little book mustaches. This was from John Hudson. But I love the idea that a man called Rufus Cavendish is
I like the name. I was
Yeah.
with you. As soon as I read the name Rufus, I thought that man has a moustache.
Yeah, brilliant.
Definitely.
Next one.
He's just drawn around his own.
This is something I've actually seen at Expo. Anyway, this isn't a reminder, is it, of vaping?
I think it is. I like it.
Yeah,
No, haven't you seen the vape
Yeah.
ring
I've
thing?
not seen it. No, it's PG.
no, I'm not saying either. I do have. I found. I went a rifling through my mother's shed the other day, Look, because I've got stuff. I've got stuff knocking about, and I found an air zucker. And you know an air zucker is?
I remember an air zucker.
Yeah. Full of vape.
I got shot with one at Expo, the Expo.
With a filling full of vape.
Yes.
And you could feel it, like.
Yeah, you get a good ball of vape. It's good. I'll maybe not a video at some point and put it on the group if anybody's even remotely interested in that, which probably aren't. Next one.
That is actual vapor though in that gun.
It is vapor. It's basically PG.
This is from Kevin Watts. I think the likeness is uncanny.
What is it supposed to be?
It's
Richard.
It's supposed to be me, apparently. I've got a very generic thing going on now, haven't I?
It very much confused me because I thought, oh, is it Richard's birthday? I've missed it.
No, he saw the birthday card and he went, look at that. That looks just like vaping, the old vaping Vic. I'll have that. Put it on the telly.
I'll take it simply because I haven't got that jawline or that body. I've got those pants, but
it's in the garden.
Here's another one from Kevin Watts, the man whose name is a very Tribe Batava itself. And this was Facebook doing a Tribe Batava. There was a bit of a thing about this, about the 1,200 quid bones. But also, if you notice on the recommended, Facebook's went, you like them bones? How about these bones?
I do like the thing that somebody's put.
It reminded Facebook of vape, and then it put, I don't know. It kind of worked for me. I liked it.
I like that Facebook's reaching now.
I want to give kudos to the anonymous Facebook user who's put a laughing face on that sales post. I'm with them. That's fucking mental.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
This is a good one. Is this from Marksky?
This is a good one. I like this.
What is it really?
A dump valve.
It's a dump valve. Yep, it's dump valve. Yep, that's what it is. But it looks like a red RTA, doesn't it?
Does, yeah.
RDA.
Top airflow. Built-in drip tip. Job
Splendid.
done. Oh.
This one, I looked twice. I was like, well, so where is the Tribe Batava on this one? Because obviously they're not liquid bottles, are they?
Yeah.
So that was quite a good one. I thought that's from Michael Briggs.
I like the idea that there's different selections of valve oil for a brass instrument.
Yeah.
Nigel Moxon with one here. What's this, Mark Todd making a coil?
I don't know. There was no explanation to this.
This needs clarification.
I think I get it. I think what it is, this is my deduction was that is somebody's, at the top, is meant to be somebody's signature. You know, when you when you ask them to sign something and they go, and you go, what the fuck? And they think they're some sort of genius. That's why.
No idea.
Can I ask, do people need color-coded dump valves?
No.
Well, clearly they do.
Well, obviously
there's a difference between need and want, and that's a want.
That's a high-end dump.
I really need my dump valve to be matching my whatever.
Yeah. Well, some people like to open up the book and go, oh, look at my things. Look at the things under this bonnet. Look
at my dump valve. It's red anodized.
Oh, this is from Paul Iverson.
That's a good one. Yeah, we'll have that one.
170 quid.
Yeah, it's a mic attachment audio recorder. It's new. It's from Tascam. It's a DR10X. DR10X. We all knew that. Next one. Here we go. We're moving into the RDA section. We have 3 of these this week.
Really reaching.
This is from Dave Groves.
I think he's actually reaching in the picture.
That's his initials, isn't it?
And then we've got this from Rick.
Yeah.
They've got
RDA, Brad Born RDA, which is their group.
I like that. I'm going to give you that because of Brad Born.
Riding Disabled Association.
But then someone put this up after, didn't they?
And then there's the magazine. It's
the RDA magazine.
Yeah,
you've got to be really sub-oming to wear a helmet. You've got to really go for it.
Yeah. She's had too much nick, that girl. Her eyes are...
Safety first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next one's from Richard Jack. This is his camping based Travava?
It is. It's a backup battery, is it?
Yeah.
It is a backup. Yeah.
Well,
It looks a bit like
I like it. It does look like a mod.
A few more in there. A few more.
Yeah.
And then Sean Casey.
Yeah, I think that's reach.
It's a reach. It's a real reacher.
Sean,
Still
get a
sort of
washing
coils
machine.
on a coiling rod, isn't it? It's sort of there a bit.
No, it's not. It's not metal. It's made of fucking.
I've said it
It's
once.
a
I've said it
dip dye.
twice. I've said it many, many times. He saw it, a reminder of it. He sent it to the show, put it on there. That's how it works.
I always want you to
Try
say
for
that.
Tom.
Last one. Tom beat.
Tom Beatty.
This
That
is
is Richard.
me on the left there.
Yeah.
Time to get the neck snapped.
After all this here, yeah. We're going to spin that. Get your photo took, he says.
Smile for the camera before I kill you.
Right, basically. Yeah. That's it.
And that's this week's Try for Tom. Thanks very much for tuning in, ladies and gents.
Now I would say, but I think the music's changed.
Oh.
I've just got one mod to show this week, actually. Just
We
one.
need the music.
Need the music, right?
You want the music? I've got a piece of music for a special friend. We've got different music this week.
There we go.
Here we go. I found this. I thought it'd be perfect to
Hello.
put behind the mod showcase. And we got a mod here by a lovely guy from Scotland. Up in Fine in Scotland, in fact.
Fine mods.
And his name is Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson? Matt Johnson.
Mark Johnson's
The name
on.
is
He's
Bobby
made this
McGee.
mod, so let's just get straight into having a look at it and let's see what we think of it. Like the look of that?
It's
I like
lovely.
that- I
You
like
could-
that
he's
Hammond.
done about 3 or 4 recently, hasn't he? That have
He's
been different.
putting out some new designs now, and I think he's changing it up quite nicely. But yeah, he's done some very. It's a very. I can't concentrate with that music on.
Putting me to sleep.
But it's a nice Juul parallel. I'm not sure if it's a 75C or a 250C, but it's a DNA board in there. And yeah, I just thought it was really nice and definitely worth showing.
Definitely was a nice bit of natural wood as well.
Yeah, really nice. Good work, Matt. Lovely job.
So it's 2 batteries regulated.
Yeah, there is. Look, 2 batteries, a nice big bottle,
Squonky.
plenty of power, and squonky. Yeah, very
I
good.
like
Pull the
it.
battery window so you can see what's in there. Nice wood. I think it's a table mod, isn't it? I would never take that out.
I don't suppose it's
I'd
another
take
wood.
every mod I fucking own out.
I don't think it's too big.
No, it's fine.
But anyway,
I got
Nice
big
though.
pockets.
It's nice.
that is the mod showcase of the week. If you liked what you saw, go onto Facebook and have a join of the group. Mod showcases. Very nice.
www.facebook.com
/ don't know, but search.
Rick, can I just ask a modmaker.co.uk question?
You certainly can.
Do you know if any of your bottles fit the Rig Mech Squonker?
I don't know which mod you mean, so I will say
All right.
measure the diameter of the bottle and I can tell you.
We'll sort you out after the show, Stephen Durkin.
Yes, Stephen Durkin, you've got our attention.
Yes, we've seen what you're doing.
That's some
And we don't have
different
a Rig Mech Squonker to hand, but we'll sort you out.
Yeah, sort something out.
Okie doke. I think that's
We're
it.
done.
We've done 2 hours and 4 minutes. Oh, I'm not going to be here next week, but these fuckers will. I've got to move house.
You'll be packing boxes.
I won't. Hopefully not, because we hopefully be in the fucking house.
Unpacking / painting /
I'll be in the pub. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing it.
putting your feet
Done.
up.
That's it. Thank you very much for watching the Ideal Ohm Show. That's what we've been.
Come on, be quick. I really need to go to the toilet. Come on, quickly.
They'll see you
Do
next
the raffle,
week.
do the raffle, do the raffle.
Oh, and don't forget, go over to the Facebook page, www.facebook.com, and search for the Ideal Ohm Show. Find the Ideal Ohm Show, find the raffle, and buy some tickets. £5 each. It finishes on Saturday. Get some. You've seen the prizes. They're worth shit.
Or if you don't want to buy a ticket, just put a couple of quid in. That would be awesome. That would be awesome as well. We're not bothered.
Thank you very much for watching.
and they'll see you next week. See you next Thursday.
Peace out. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.